Calling mission 403. Calling mission 403. Stella Futura, the planet of tomorrow, calling mission to Earth. You are now in Earth orbit. Assume heavy gravity bodies. Your appearance must not excite comment. Assume appearance suitable to landing area. The mission will investigate the reported production of an invisible protective substance which might be of use to our own advanced culture in Stella Futura. It will not be necessary to assume tourist disguises for eastern sectors. Check synchronization and refer to briefing. Production of mystery metal is concentrated in Britain. As leader of the project, A will be responsible for diplomatic contacts. B will start transmission of report at first opportunity. You are now approaching landing area. Over and out.
Agent B now reporting to Stella Futura from planet Earth. Our leader conducted the mission to see an official of the species known as Intelligent. On the way, we made contact with the mystery substance. It has a deceptive tactile firmness. Earth inhabitants are basically of two kinds, one more decorative than the other. There is a marked tendency to pair off. The official known as Mary provided an Earth guide, a young man to whom she was under contract for the pairing ritual. He explained that for many years the mystery substance had been widely used in light devices known as windows, or as aids to vision. It would seem that it differs from a somewhat similar-looking substance used in the pairing off token. Jimmy the guide told us that the substance is called glass. Although earlier civilizations knew how to produce it, they did not understand its capabilities, which are only now being fully realized. Today, Earthmen use it in their most advanced buildings for entrances, which may be operated automatically. They give a remarkable impression of clarity and space. A specially toughened glass is used, frequently patterned to discourage the curious, although inspection of the elegant fittings is acceptable. These beautiful glass doors have now replaced a greatly loved material known as dreary old brown wood. Breakage resistance was established by a preliminary test. Subsequent research showed that this was variable. It was soon apparent that Jimmy the Earth Guide had not overstated his claims for the product. To take transparent glass first, there are 3 basic varieties. As he informed us,
Sheet glass is made by a continuous drawing process and is fire finished on both sides. It is not optically regular, but is remarkably lustrous and is much used in domestic glazing.
sheet glass is used, among other things, for structures called greenhouses, in which somewhat remarkable flora are lovingly cultivated. Jimmy then introduced plate glass.
Plate glass, the second basic variety, was a great improvement optically on sheet glass. Both sides were ground and polished by ingenious machinery to give flat and parallel surfaces.
Through windows such as these, the young are given an undistorted view of the world outside. Space is unified, horizons extended. Indoors or outdoors, the image on the other side of the glass remains true. Pilkingtons, whose name was already associated with the 2 basic kinds of glass, then made a breakthrough to a 3rd kind, called float glass.
Float glass has the luster of a fire-finished glass and the optical perfection previously associated with parallel grinding and polishing. This remarkable combination of properties in the one product is the result of passing the molten glass over liquid tin.
It would not be extravagant to claim that we ourselves could use float glass in all the best of our modern buildings, as Earthman does. I venture to suggest that our own enlightened industrial leaders might consider using this material in the construction of their new lakeside headquarters. In transparent and translucent glass, there is a whole range both for structural and decorative use. Our guide explained how industrial architecture has been affected by the use of wired glass.
Wired glass will hold together when broken, so preventing injury from splinters. In the event of fire, it reduces drafts, retarding the spread of flames. It allows a high standard of natural lighting. Good light transmission and protection are 2 factors which make it specially suitable for use in public buildings. In some industrial architecture, complete walls of wired glass are supported by glazing bars made from aluminium. This is called patent glazing. The glass edges are finished with lead flashing, and the final result gives a permanent, clean and durable finish to modern industrial buildings.
In industry, toughened glass, such as that used in armor plate doors, has special applications. It resists impact, pressure and temperature change, and is used to protect workers from dangerous processes, and to protect telephones from the dangerous public. It can be shaped in many ways to form the detail of interior decoration. Even a balustrade can now admit light. We were shown a structural glass called profilate.
Profilate is extruded in channel form. As a building material, it has opened up new possibilities in construction and design. The units can be assembled with flanges facing inward or outward, or in a combination of both. There are various ways of sealing the joint. Profilate is used for glazing large areas at low cost. The glass can be cut to fit on the site. Awkward angles and sweeping curves present no problems. And once the superstructure has been erected, profilate can be added at any stage to suit the building program. It can be used equally well in interior construction to make walls or corridors which allow the maximum use of daylight.
The mission reached the conclusion that glass is a brilliant substance, lightening life in every field of human activity. With translucent glazing, the light admitted can be varied in kind, degree, and color. The variations are impressive. Translucent glass may be structural or decorative. Cross-reeded. Cotswold. Spotlight. Festival. Siesta. Double rolled. Hammered. Large Arctic. There are many artists who work freely in the medium of glass and are quite capable of designing a striking woman. One would scarcely be overstating the case to suggest that etching on glass has touched the point of artistic perfection on this planet. There are other exciting new uses of glass in decoration. We were greatly interested in insulite blocks.
Insulite blocks consist of two molded sections sealed to each other by a direct glass-to-glass fusion joint. For interior use, the blocks can be assembled with simple bolts and easily dismantled, or they may be permanent fixtures. Because of the patterned surfaces, there is a great depth of light penetration, and illumination is evenly distributed. They offer privacy with a high level of heat and sound insulation. There are special glass blocks, not only for walls, but for ceilings. Roof and pavement lenses are ideal for heavy duty, where borrowed light is the only means of natural lighting. Domes of rough cast or wired cast glass can be used to admit light through flat or shell-shaped roofs. If a continuous run of glass is required, barrel roof lights give diffused illumination and minimize glare. Toughened roof lenses can be used to advantage wherever a large floor space is insufficiently lit from the windows.
It would seem that Pilkingtons are able to shape protective glass into any form they wish. We have been instructed in some detail about double glazing, for which either the profilate units referred to earlier or insulite double glazing units may be used. An insulating commodity known as air is dehydrated and hermetically sealed between the panes during manufacture. This forms a barrier against heat loss and reduces the risk of condensation. The sandwich can be added to, layer fashion, 3, 4, or many times over. The latest development in double glazing is to make a unit with the glass edges fused together to form an impermeable seal. In effect, the whole unit is one continuous piece of glass.
With an ordinary window, hot air is cooled by the single pane of glass and descends as a cold draft. With double glazing, only the outer pane is cold. The inner remains at room temperature because of the insulating air between the panes. A seat by the window is as comfortable as any other seat in the room.
Windows can be as large as you like in a house protected from the elements by double glazing. We are told that even a northern sector winter can be enjoyed without discomfort or high fuel bills. Apparently, condensation is a real problem among Earth beings who breathe incessantly. Double glazing reduces the problem. And of course, the larger the building, the greater the benefit.
In some types of double glazing, blinds may be inserted between the two panes so as to prevent a build-up of heat. This is a job for the professional. But there are also double glazing systems which the amateur can assemble and install for himself. Special circumstances in industry call for multiple glazing units. Where handling a sensitive material such as tobacco, triple glazing is used. Temperature and humidity can then be closely controlled. Double glazing can also give protection from noise if the airspace is wide enough. This insulation does not detract from light transmission. For effective noise reduction, the two panes of glass should be separated by at least 8 inches, and sound-absorbent material in the interior airspace will further reduce reverberation.
The wide appeal of various types of figured glass is suggested in terms such as Flemish, Pacific, Atlantic, Glasgow hammered, Glasgow hammered? Ah, Glasgow hammered. Make mine a large Arctic. And forgive a personal digression. These earth beings, depending on their bodies for continued existence, several times a day put smaller bodies into their own. It occurred to me that this process might in some way be connected with their scientific intelligence, and I therefore conceived it my duty to undertake some practical research. Next day, our guide introduced us to opaque glass, starting with vitrolite, which is widely used in building. Referring to our leader's notes, I see that it can be cut and worked like ordinary glass. I do not precisely recall the pleasing range of colours to which he refers. As a further extension of my private research, I discovered that the sick are cared for in modern hospitals. Here, vitrolite panels are much in evidence, as their smooth surfaces and close joints do not harbour dirt and germs. In private homes, vitrolite is used on the walls of kitchens and even on the ceilings. It is manufactured by the float process, which provides a fire-finished surface free from distortion. Its main use is in bathrooms, as it is unaffected by steam or detergents. Vitrolite never fades, and so ends the worry of redecoration. It may also be used as a part of exterior design, where a durable surface is required.
Armour-clad glass is a toughened glass for use in the cladding of buildings. Colour is permanently fused in during manufacture, and it is not affected by weathering. Armour-clad cast is a toughened opaque glass with a textured surface. Colour is diffused through the pattern. The different textures open an extensive field of use. Armour-clad plate is a toughened clear glass, ceramic enamelled on one side. The colour here shows through without diffusion.
Pilkingtons have devised a special glazing to reduce radiant heat from the sun. Anti-sun is a tinted glass which admits 70% of the sun's light, but only 45% of its heat. As with so many other forms of glass, this offers the best of both worlds. Anti-sun may be used in conjunction with other types of glazing, as in the highest building of their chief city called the Kapotwa. Correction, the GPO Tower. Insulite triple glazing units give protection from the elements on the top floors. Travellers come from vast distances by Earth standards to marvel at structures such as this. The civilization is rich in spectacular glass frontages. Pilkingtons are understandably proud of these feats of suspended glazing.
The armour plate glass hangs clear in special clamps. The greater the weight, the tighter the grip. This gives unimpeded vision without glazing bars up to heights of 60 feet.
A glass frontage on this scale helps to integrate a building with its surrounding space, superbly illustrating the truth of the claim that glass lightens life. Walls are opened up to remove the barrier between indoor and outdoor environment. Each becomes part of a unified conception. There are regular periods when the sun does not appear at all. In this area, the longer of these are called summer holidays. The shorter are called nights. Much that is beautiful in the daytime fades into insignificance at night. Glass both lends and borrows beauty by artificial light. We are told that many female inhabitants make special journeys to the city to admire the work of the glassmakers. This is known as window gazing. We were now introduced to the property of reflection. When a thin film of silver is put on glass, it reflects a reversed image of whatever it faces. This device, known as a mirror, is much used to create an effect of space. A mirror wall doubles restaurant accommodation and provides a duplicate staff to serve in it. There is a popular legend concerning an earth girl who entered a magic land through her looking glass. We found no evidence to substantiate this, and privately chose to regard it as expressing a psychological truth. A mirror is considered an essential part of domestic equipment, and frequent reference is made to it during immersion ceremonies. The full ritual is sometimes referred to as reflecting in the bath.
At the same time, a mirror adds a new dimension to living space. A mirror can double the length of a room, brighten dark recesses, highlight a favorite piece of furniture, and give a suggestion of spacious luxury. Hall and stairway always need plenty of light. A mirror is a good way to provide it, and it fits harmoniously with any style of decoration.
The mission noted with approval the many decorative effects in these mirror-bright homes. Combined with an intelligent use of lighting, they reflect the personality as well as the features, although the latter, it must be confessed, seem permanently reversed from left to right. While our Earth Guide planned a program of research for the afternoon, we were discovering for ourselves some of the tricks that can be played with the dimensions of a room. Just as long mirrors appear to lift a ceiling, so small ones can break up a wall area and make a more intimate background. Where glass is used with imagination, a house at once assumes an inviting character. There are so many applications for glass in the home that I decided that this field should be further explored. I was now sufficiently familiar with my subject to use intimate terminology such as Georgian wired, reeded, translucent, and so on. I now found myself with a certain amount of time to fill in, while our leader continued a profitable discussion on glass technology with Jimmy. In spite of his avowed interest in space travel, our guide had drawn up an itinerary in conventional forms of transport. Toughened or laminated glass windows allow the driver to see in safety and contribute to the elegance and brilliance of this popular form of transport. By this time we had seen something of congested earth travel and could appreciate the importance of all-round visibility. When travelling by larger vehicles, hermetically sealed, double glazing units offer an uninterrupted view of the territory and protect passengers from the discomforts of heat and noise. I understand that glass is also used as an aid to vision in the nearest form of transport they have to ours. Having discharged my obligation to the mission, I see no reason to record my leader's further observations, which were of a very personal nature. For his part, our Earth guide showed more interest in examining a spacesuit than pressing an earthbound one. As for me, well, that can wait. Let us first round off Mary's story. From an unimpeachable source, I have it that the pairing off cycle followed traditional lines. Her husband's uncanny intelligence quickly earned him promotion, and Mary, who continued to share his interest in his work, was delighted to hear that they were to have the chance of a trip to Canada, to a glass festival in Calgary. What pictures Calgary evokes in his imagination. Oh dear. Oh dear. Phew. As for Mary, perhaps like many other Earth women, she had really set her heart on the best of both worlds, and got exactly what she wanted.
Stella Futura congratulates Mission 403. You have carried out a most rewarding investigation. You may now dematerialize.
I know that Jimmy will find much to excite him in Stella Futura, but, sensible fellow, he carries his passport with him. For with Pilkington's glass, one can always make the best of both worlds.